Now we are going to discuss about covalent bond. In case of covalent bond, the atom share electron with each other. As we have discussed that in case of electrovalent bond, the atom either lose some electron or gain some electron from another atom, but in case of covalent bond, they share the electron with another atom. Now we are going to discuss about few examples of covalent bond. First, how hydrogen formation occurs by covalent bond. So, the last shell of hydrogen contains one electron. So, the valence electron number is 1. Valence electron means the number of electron in the outermost shell. So, here hydrogen having one electron at the outermost shell. So, one hydrogen atom is containing one electron, another hydrogen atom is containing one electron. They share this electron with each other and a single covalent bond occur and they form hydrogen, H2. Same thing happens in case of chlorine also. We know that the valence electron in case of chlorine is 7. That means the outermost shell of chlorine contains 7 electrons. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The dot signs are for showing the numbers of electron in the outermost shell. So first, this one atom chlorine contain 7 numbers of electron in the outermost shell. Similarly, another chlorine atom also contains the 7 numbers of electron in the outermost shell. So, they both need 1 electron each. So, to occur the octet formation, that is, as they are having 7 each, if one atom of chlorine shared 1 electron with each other, then they both will have 8 electron each on their outermost shell and they will attain the octet formation. So that's why they share this electron with each other and a single bond has been formed between the two atoms of chlorine. So it becomes Cl2. Next is oxygen. Now the valence electron numbers in case of oxygen is 6. That means oxygen have 6 electron in its outermost shell. So to attain the octet formation, they need 2 more electrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are this atom of oxygen, one atom of oxygen having 6 electron and another atom of oxygen is having 6 electron. So if they share 2 electron with each other, then they both will become 8. They both will have 8 electron each and they will acquire the stable electronic configuration. So they will share with each other electronic configuration. And here 2 single covalent bond occurs. That's why it is called double bond. Okay. So here the bond is double. There are 2 bonds. This is how oxygen forms. Now in case of nitrogen, the nitrogen have 5 valence electron as in its outermost shell. So this cross sign are for showing the numbers of valence electron in case of each atoms of nitrogen. So the first atom of nitrogen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's having 5 and this also having 5. So if it get 3 electron more, then it will have 8 electron in its outermost shell and it will attain the octet formation or stable formation of nearest noble gas. So what will they do? They will have a bond between these 3 electrons. So now this nitrogen having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 numbers of electron, and in the similar way the other nitrogen will also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electron. So each of them will have 8 electron each on its outermost shell. They will attain the stable configuration, and this is how nitrogen occurs. So next is how the HCl formation we will show. Now the cross sign indicates the outermost valence electron number of hydrogen, and the dot sign indicates the outermost electron number, valence electron number in the outermost shell of chlorine. So hydrogen having 1 valence electron in its outermost shell and chlorine having 7. So if hydrogen gets 1 from chlorine, it will become 2. There will be 2 electrons. So it will attain the duplet structure. So it will become stable. And on the other side, if chlorine having 7 now, right now it's having 7. If it shares 1 from hydrogen, then it will become 8, and then also it will become stable. So they will share this electron with each other, and hydrogen will become, now hydrogen is having 2 and chlorine also having 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the bond between them is a single bond, and this is how HCl forms. Now another example is how the covalent bond structure we will show, the covalent bond structure in case of water. Now in case of water, there are 2 atoms of hydrogen involved with 1 atom of oxygen. Now the same thing, hydrogen having 1 valence shell in its outermost shell, 1 valence electron in its outermost shell. So the cross are indicating the outer valence electron of hydrogen. So this hydrogen is having 1 and this hydrogen is having 1. And in the middle there is oxygen. Oxygen having 6 electron on its outermost shell. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For better understanding, the same molecules, hydrogen are having, indicating cross sign for hydrogen and dot sign for oxygen. So what happens, this hydrogen will share these molecules and with this molecule with each other. So they will form, the hydrogen will form this, and here also hydrogen will form like this. So in the both side hydrogen will be having 2 electrons in its outermost shell, and oxygen will be having 8. Oxygen is sharing 1 from this hydrogen and another electron from this hydrogen. So now the number of electron in case of oxygen is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 3 of them are having stable electronic configuration. So now they are having single bond with oxygen is having single bond in both sides of the hydrogen with the both hydrogen, and H2O forms. So now another 2 examples of covalent bond between how nitrogen and hydrogen, how they form ammonia and carbon tetrachloride. So as you know that on the outermost shell nitrogen is having 5 electrons, so this dot are for nitrogen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hydrogen is having 1 at each, so this cross are for hydrogen. So in the 3 of this side, nitrogen will share 1 electron from each of the hydrogen, and they will form hydrogen will attain the electronic configuration of nearest, that means helium, and nitrogen will also having 8 numbers of electron in its outermost shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in number of electrons in its outermost shell. It will also become stable. So this is how N having single bond on the with 3 of the atoms of hydrogen, it forms NH3. And the last, that is carbon tetrachloride. Carbon have 4 valence electron, that is 4 numbers of electron in its outermost shell. So these cross are for showing the numbers of electron in case of carbon, and chlorine have 7. So now chlorine have 7. Suppose this, if chlorine take 1 from carbon, it will become 8. So it will take 1 from carbon. Similar way, this chlorine will also take 1 from carbon. This chlorine will also take 1 from carbon, and this chlorine will also take 1 from carbon. All this chlorine now having 8 electron on its outermost shell. Now what about the carbon? Carbon, as they are sharing, so carbon is getting 1 from each chlorine. So now carbon becomes 1, 2, carbon itself have 4, and it gets 4 from the each chlorine, so it becomes 8. So carbon having 4 single bond with 4 atom of chlorine forms CCl4. So these are the main examples, very important examples of covalent bonds. And the difference between electrovalent bond and covalent bond are also very important. You have to learn it. Today we are going to today this is much we are going to discuss. On the next day